Okay, you're a big guy, James. Were you a bully at school? Were you the type of guy who wear your Morrissey t-shirt and beat the crap out of other guys?
Well, no, I was an anti-bully. I beat up bullies on a regular basis and would get hauled down to the office for it, in which the principal would have to tell my parents that I was defending a small kid, but that I'm not supposed to hit people, sort of. So it was an awkward conversation, to say the least.
You know, something else that happened that could have been kind of a different career that you could have followed if you had, I think, was it opened a letter or had received one, was that you had got a job writing for Seinfeld.
I didn't get a job. No, I met randomly. I was just in Los Angeles visiting a friend of mine who knew somebody who worked for the representation company. And they were looking for a writer that lived in New York. And at the time, I was spending most of my time in college and writing. And he said, well, my friend James is a writer. And I gave them samples. And apparently they liked it enough to inquire on me writing a test script. And I really wanted to do it. Like, not really. I didn't have a TV, and I didn't know. It was the first season, so I just didn't know anything much about the show other than a couple of things I'd seen. And I forgot about it, and I just didn't get around to do it. And then I got a letter asking, hey, how's it going? And I just didn't do it because I was 22, and you're stupid. And then like later on, I thought it was the Scary Shandling show. I mixed it up. So it wasn't until 2001 that I opened up, that I re-looked at the letter and realized it was Seinfeld. So. And that was after it became very popular.
Right, yeah. One of the things about you and your music is the approach to the whole idea of sound. I mean, are you interested, like we just mentioned the hum off the refrigerator and the hum off tomorrow, everyone knows. Is that how you might approach writing or how you approach music? Like just the sound of the thing?
I'm pretty obsessed with sound. I always have been since I was little. I think it's because I'm a little bit neurotic and I overthink things a lot, but working with sound is kind of a visceral and physical thing, which is kind of illogical, and it helps me. It's where I feel like the most comfortable instinctively, rather than songwriting per se, or like, I find a lot of songwriters that are supposed to be really good songwriters tend to leave me cold because the stuff doesn't have like a physicality, and a lot of stuff that might be idiotic songwriting, like nonsense lyrics, but has a certain physicality, which is a sound-based physicality, moves me a lot more. So sound in its pure form is kind of a big part of what I like about music.
One of the things that people might know you from lately, if they don't necessarily rush out to buy an LCD Sound System album, is the soundtrack of the movie Greenberg. What is that? Was that Noah Baumbach saying, I like this guy, I want him to do the whole thing for me?
Well, I mean, I'd ask him, but from what he tells me, he had been listening to some of my records and liked them and felt like that there was some sentiments that seemed to be the kinds of things that the main character Greenberg would have been thinking and listening to. And so we got into a bit of a conversation about scoring, and because we had a nice personal relationship, because I started talking to him, we hit it off and we were able to talk about music. It seemed like a fun thing to do, but it's pretty different than what I would normally do. It's music that I really like, but it was really music made to suit something that someone else's voice and vision.
Okay, James Murphy from New York. Then finally, it's got to be where's the Irish?
Where's the Irish? They're mostly around here, I think.
No, come on, James Murphy.
Yeah, well, my whole family's both sides are all unadventurous marriers, so they just married other Irish people. All actually Cork on both sides. So right. Uniacs, Shays, Murphys, Waters. Yeah, so
right. Well, listen, if LCD Sound System is not going to go, where does James Murphy go from here, and to what?
Just back to I continue on. I'll make music as LCD Sound System. We just won't be going on rock and roll tours and festivaling, and I'll be doing remixes again, which I haven't done in 2 years. I'll go back to producing. There's a lot of bands on DFA, spending time with my label, and I'm excited to just have an open slate a little bit, because right now, if I come up with ideas that I want to pursue, I just write them down on a notepad and I don't really get to do them. I just put them in a notepad for 10 years from now. I'm just excited to be able to come up with ideas that I want to pursue, whatever it is, and dig into them a little bit again, rather than be like, I'd love to, but I'm late with the record, or I'm late with the artwork.
Yeah. And what's more important to you? Is it a good idea or to be talented?
A good idea. I think it's much more important. I think a good idea and open mind and hard work beat talent any day. Talent usually just is afraid to fail and stays home.
Okay, well listen, enjoy yourself later on. Thanks a million for talking to us, James.
Cheers.
And even though I could say like it's the end of the road for LCD Sound System soon,
We're going to tour for another year.
Yeah, all right.
I want to play every place, many times. I want to play as often as I can. I want to play as many different ways as we can before I'm done touring.
All right, well listen, I'll tell you what, Jenny and Jenny are coming up next. We're going to play a tiny bit of LCD Sound System now before the end, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Take it away, LCD Sound System.
Cheers.